Welcome to our next Wandering Walks of Wonder adventure. Today we're headed far up north in Michigan to Cheboygan. We'll take a leisurely stroll through the picturesque streets and waterfront of this charming town that's nestled on the shores of Lake Huron. Our walk begins here right at the Cheboygan River, where we'll learn a little bit about the history itself of Cheboygan. The Cheboygan River has been an important part of northern Michigan since before the founding of the city of Cheboygan. The river was used by local Ottawa and Chippewa Indians for transportation. After the Michilimackinac and Mackinac Island settlements were created, Europeans traded with natives at the mouth of this river. The Europeans also placed their ships in the river to wait for the ice to break in the springtime. In 1844, Alexander McLeod set up a sawmill on the Cheboygan River. The next year, Jacob Salmons, an employee of McLeod's, became the first person to move in permanently in the town. The lumber industry took off, with settlers establishing Duncan City in the area known today as Duncan Bay. In 1871 and 1880, two projects took place to widen and deepen the river. This is the point where the buildings started popping up and the city of Cheboygan began to thrive. The river improvements also allowed access for larger vessels such as commercial transport ships as well as passenger ships. The Detroit and Cleveland Navigation Company had steamships that regularly once docked here in Cheboygan. The Cheboygan River is still an important part of the community today. The river is used by recreational boaters, oil tankers, freighters, and car ferries. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Mackinac has been docked here since 1944. This is the only heavy icebreaker on the Great Lakes, which assists in keeping channels and harbors open to meet the winter shipping demands. As we move away from the river and head into the downtown area, the first building that we see is the historic Kingston Theater. Now, Chicago's downtown isn't like other Michigan cities, with its downtown being anchored around a grand old movie theater. Chicago already had an established opera house, which we'll see here in just a bit, for live performances. The Kingston wasn't Sheboygan's first movie theater, and there have been others since. But Frank Kingston had a vision of combining the two forms of art, live performance and projection movies, all in one building. The Kingston not only did this, but it was more ornate and elaborate than any other movie house in the area. Originally done in Art Deco style, it had a ticket booth trimmed in white and gold, posters of movie stars, and an ornate tin ceiling in the front lobby. The Kingston was once considered the finest in the state outside of Detroit. The Kingston first opened its doors on March 12, 1920 with the movie Pollyanna, a silent film. Up until the mid-1920s, silent films were the norm, which was why there was a need for an orchestra in the theater. We're now walking past the historic Carnegie Library here in Sheboygan. The Carnegie Library was Sheboygan's first official free library. It was housed at this address from October of 1913 until May of 1966. The initial funds, about $15,000, came from a grant given by Andrew Carnegie, a steel magnate who was one of the richest Americans in history. After the library closed, the Cheboygan Board of Education occupied offices in the building, along with several other small businesses. The building did spend some time being vacant, but in recent years it's being used as a community center, holding concerts, art galleries, and other events. I hope you've enjoyed this Wandering Walks of Wonder tour here in downtown Cheboygan. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you on our next Wandering Walks of Wonder adventure. Take care now. Bye-bye.